Your clinic is not in Nairobi center, or
No, it's not in the center of Nairobi. It's
in the quarter. No?
very a little far from Nairobi in the city. It's situated in a slum called Korogosho. Yeah, and in Korogosho there are people who work there in Korogosho are people who earn less than $1 a day, and these people, they don't have access to good diagnosis facilities like ultrasound. Like for example, in the whole of Korogosho, which has almost over 1 million people, there is not even one ultrasound machine. So the clinic is the first clinic to have an ultrasound machine in all of that place. So if someone has a complication that needs ultrasound, he has to travel to the city center for a public hospital to do an ultrasound, which is 1,800, or go to a private, also very far from where they are. It takes like around 1 hour or 2 hours drive to access one. So we have brought the machine right there, and the machine is there because of an organization of Africa Digna. They helped and brought the machine to Korogosho area doing the services.
And then you send the people to the Nairobi center or an hospital in the center of the city. Or?
Yeah, that is the biggest challenge we are facing at the moment, because once they are brought to us from small private clinics in Korogosho, when we come, then we do another ultrasound, we find the problem. The major challenge we're having is that once we find there's a problem, and we tell them, okay, now we have found the problem, but we cannot treat the problem. We have to go to another hospital because our facilities are limited. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You can only do ultrasound, then we refer you to government hospital. Problem is when they go there, they meet another problem, because maybe what the procedure is going to be more costly, more expensive. Yeah, to help and the treatment. So some of them get help, but some who cannot even afford what the public hospital is offering is the end.
And what do they do?
Most of them just because if you go to, for example, they find it maybe a sample, something simple in the breast, like a fibroadenoma is big and it's painful. When they go to the hospital there, they want to remove it they say you can remove it surgically. Is around 30,000 Kenya shillings. So 30,000 Kenya shillings, this is the money that they can make in 1 year. Not even 1 year they can make this money. So he has to go back, wait until he'll ever get that money to do that procedure. So that is another problem we're facing, because they cannot afford to pay something like that. So yes, when they go back home, it's the end.
And is it possible to think in the future, in a not far future, that public health in Kenya will be free for the people, like the one we have?
Public health in Kenya is facing a lot of challenges, because you'll find that like an ultrasound machine is maybe in Nairobi only. In other places outside Nairobi, there is no ultrasound machine. So for the time to come when the access to medicine is going to be free or accessible to everyone, is a very big challenge, because currently in Kenya there are very high number of people but few hospitals and few facilities and very few doctors. Kenya, according to last census, is 38 million people, and 38 million people, there are only around 5,000 doctors. So the ratio is it can take many years to reach to a standard where everyone has access to affordable healthcare. Yes.
The problem of doctors going away from Kenya, living outside, is that a real problem, or they prefer to stay there and work with their people?
No, most doctors when they graduate from public hospitals, from public universities, they go to public hospitals. They work for a certain period of time. When that time is over, most of them go to other countries like Europe, like America. They get work there because the pay there is better than in Kenya. So it's natural they go there and live there. It's better life, it's better things. So that is why there's very few ratio of doctors in Kenya to perform these services and help. That is why healthcare in Kenya is very expensive for people to access.
And what's your idea about that? You stay there, you'll come here to work? Or
No, I have to stay in Kenya because I was given this, the teaching I get is free. I don't pay anything. And to come to Barcelona is also like last year I was here in Barcelona at San Juan de Dios and Corachan to learn. It was free. I never paid a single money from my pocket. It was organized by Dr. Bossi to go and learn. So it is natural for me to go back to Kenya and live there and learn and teach others. Like I was also given free education, I have to give to others free education and free access to these services also, like it was given to me. So I have to pass it back. So I was given something, I have to also give it back to other people. That's why I have to be back to live in Nairobi and do that work there in Nairobi.
Would you say that your echographies save around lives?
Echography has changed a lot of lives of so many people. Like there are many examples. If I give you maybe one example is there's a woman who had suddenly the stomach was big and they could not understand because she had given birth like 1 month ago and the stomach is big. So when we had to do echography, they sent her to come and do echography because they could not understand why she was becoming big. When we check echography, we found that she has ascites, a lot of water in the body, and it is because of even to the uterus and all the liver, everywhere there was a lot of water because of, and she had tuberculosis, they didn't know. So when you did the echography, we found this problem. We recommend she do some tests. So when you recommend she did those tests, we found that she has tuberculosis, TB, and the child is only 1 month. So they put her on drugs, and by chance, Dr. Alberto had just left Nairobi like 1 week early, and he came with some milk, infant formula milk. So this milk, when this woman was given drugs, because first of all we helped her to find the problem, which was life-threatening tuberculosis, and the second thing, Dr. Alberto came with the milk formula, which we gave to her because on TB drugs you take the drugs every day, and you cannot take the drugs and also breastfeed the baby. So this milk helped the baby very much, and it saved the life of this mother because it would have gone to a very late stage if she did not do echography for that problem. That is just one. Others are so many. For example, we find a tumor in a patient. When Dr. Marcelius was there with Luis, we found a woman with a breast abscess, very painful. Every time she goes to hospital, medicine, nothing. So when you did an echography, found it's just abscess, there's just fluid in the breast. So we recommend a report. They went, drain everything out, clean. Up to now, there's no problem, and she's very happy. So it's many cases that we come across that change many people's lives, and they are documented. Yes.
Does the AIDS affect your work?
What?
Does the AIDS, SIDA?
HIV?
Yes.
Yes, because for example, I think almost every day, the patients who come, you'll find that even maybe 1 or 2 have HIV. Almost every day, you'll find. So for example, and when they come with HIV, for example, we do an echograph and we find maybe there's a problem, the liver is large, and this patient does not know that they have HIV. So we think maybe there's a big problem in the liver, but it is because of HIV. So we write report, we say the liver is this, the liver is that. But the problem is there's HIV and she has not done HIV test, and maybe we did not do HIV test because our work is echograph. So when we write a report, based on the liver, but the problem is HIV. So they go further to hospitals and we find now our report there's a problem because it is not the liver, the problem is the HIV that is bringing the problem. So it is sometimes confusing because many people don't know the status of HIV in Kenya, and it's very high. It's almost 1 to 10 person has HIV.